This is the show that gives you a daily dose of happy, uplifting, feel-good stories from around the world. Welcome to another episode of Wonderlous News. I'm Hoyt Christopher. Let's get right to it. All right, our first segment is train conductor hailed as hero for halting train and saving 3-year-old boy stranded on tracks. This is incredible. Like, my heart was racing when I saw some of the footage of this and I read the article. So this conductor spotted a 3-year-old wandering around the tracks dangerously close to that one rail that's electrified. So he's going 70 miles an hour. He slams on the brakes on this train. He gets the train to stop in time. He jumps out and he's running out. One of the conductors is running out. Marcus Higgins is jogging down the tracks to get this boy. And the boy's not really responding. And they're saying, stay away from the electrified track, right? It's showing on the rail, stay away from the rail, stay away from the rail. And they realize that he's not understanding because, and they found out, I think later, that he's autistic. So they were able to get the main control center to cut the power. They were able to warn all the other trains to make sure that they stop and don't enter that area so they get this young boy to safety. And they did it. Oh my gosh, this poor little kid, 3 years old. Can you imagine? I have a 3-year-old. Like, I can't imagine him wandering on a train track near an electrified rail, like freaking me out. So I guess he had fallen when he was with his mom. And by this time he's wandering. I don't know where mom is. Maybe mom's trying to find a different way down. I have no idea. They didn't really show where he fell, but they showed where he was, and the train conductors and that whole team got him to safety, got him back to his mom. He's reunited with her, with his mom and his sister, and everything's good. But wow, I mean, these guys are heroes. Thank goodness they saw this kid in time. They were able to stop. I mean, imagine if the conductor wasn't looking at that direction for a moment. At 70 miles an hour, he's hauling. So good story, great ending. Next segment. Okay. So new studies suggest that physical activity and a sedentary lifestyle trump genetics in determining lifespan. So it says it right there, right? So we thought, my genetics, my dad had, congestive heart failure. I'm going to have congestive heart failure, bad on you, dad, right? You gave me something, it's genetic. Now that's the case in many ways. But what they did with this study was they found out that you having a more active lifestyle will actually help you live longer and a better life. And we kind of feel like we know this, but it does make sense where not all these genetic ailments are passed down, illnesses and such. And that a lot of what we choose to do and how we live our life can really determine what we do and how long we live and what kind of life we have in that length. And so they did one study with women, and this was older women, and they found that it was very true. Now, I don't know why they only did older women, but testing older women, they said, hey, look, those that were, just were not as active, were losing years, right? And then those that were active were actually gaining up to 6.1 years of what they would call extended lifespan or life. And so they said the findings were consistent across categories of a GRS for longevity. Look, I think we all have to be aware. The more active you are, the healthier you can be, the better chances that you're going to live a longer, happier, healthier life. It's not 100%. It's not guaranteed. Just like what they're saying here, your genetics and what your parents had or have is not necessarily something that you're going to get passed down to you. And it's not necessarily, if you do get it, that you will be able to combat it and live a little bit longer through having a more active lifestyle. I love that story because I love being active and healthy and doing what I can to be, that kind of guy. All right. So our Wonderless moment of the day brought to you by Rise by Shaman Angelina. She has an amazing store on Etsy, handmade necklaces, bracelets. I think she's releasing some earrings soon. Really cool stuff. The link to her shop on Etsy is in the description of the show, so check that out. In the meantime, the moment of the day will feature a video and some music that she chooses. Usually it's something that we can sort of relax to. So I like to say, let's breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nose. Thank you, Rise by Shaman Angelina. I love that. One of my favorite parts of the day is the Wonderlous moment of the day because of Rise by Shaman Angelina. Great stuff. Check out her store on Etsy. Again, it's in the description of the bio of the show. All right. So next segment is 4 sisters expecting babies simultaneously, all due within 6 months. Okay. So these 4 sisters are all prego, and all of their babies are due within 6 months of each other. It's crazy. I don't know if they all went to, similar parties month after month with their husbands and, hey, congratulations. But there you go. 4 sisters expecting. They have a pretty good sized family. These 4 sisters live in Scotland. And they're all due to have these new babies. These are their second babies. It looks like they each have one already, and then they're going to have 4 more coming. So, Stuart, the 29-year-old soon-to-be mom, said that they're really looking forward to having these children grow up together and spend time together with their other, their cousins and so forth, and going to school and help them, become great friends, right? So together becoming great friends. I get it. My kids with their cousins are sweet. It's great. They have a really good relationship with their cousins. And I think if you have that relationship with your brother or sister and they have kids and you do too, then it's a fantastic way to bring up your kids. And what is it? I was going to say, it takes a village to raise a family, right? We've heard this before. Why not that village be your 4 sisters all pregnant at the same time? I love it. All right, listen, it's time for our Wonderless thought. And today we're going to talk about siblings and their families. Why not? Why not? You have siblings maybe and families. Families? That seems weird. Of course you have a family, but your siblings, let's talk about my siblings. Why not? We'll talk about mine. So I have, my sisters, and their kids. It's so great having their kids around my kids. I think that's one of the coolest things. I know my mom, when we were growing up, she used to say that it was really important to her and my father that my sisters and I all got along and we stayed in contact and we didn't, go different directions, and that we kept our families together to support one another. More importantly, after, my mom and dad would pass. Now, my mom and dad are still here, and they're still pushing for that, which is great. And I get it. I it's something my wife and I support as well. And I'm just wondering, is that something that you do too? Or do you have a brother or sister that you can't stand that you don't talk to anymore? I mean, we had a really close family friend, and these sisters were buddies growing up, only a couple years apart. And the younger sister, difference of opinions on the parents for whatever reason, and got married and has kids, and she doesn't talk to her sister anymore. Doesn't talk to her mom anymore, and didn't talk to her dad before he passed away. So I know that not all families get together. I know not all siblings continue to get along after they leave the house and go on their own path. But for me, and maybe for you out there too, I very much value the relationship I have with my sisters and their kids. So, all right. Anyways, listen, if you have a Wonderless story that you'd like to tell us, please send it to me, wonderlessnews@gmail.com. Send me the story, send me some pictures. We'll talk about it here on the show. If you're liking the show, whether it's through the podcast or you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, follow, like, share the videos. I want to know how we're doing. If we're giving you the good news that you're looking for all the time, and what we can do better or differently. Let's do it all. Anyways, in the meantime, thanks again for watching and listening. I'm Hoyt Christopher. We'll see you tomorrow.